Alright, and welcome back to my Metal Gear Solid Extreme Difficulty guided walkthrough. We ended the previous episode with the fight against Psycho Mantis, so we're now headed to the first confrontation with Sniper Wolf. And speaking of wolves, her wolf dogs are here. And even though you can quite easily outrun them, I was foolish enough to use my last stun grenade. When I should actually have saved even more than just that one, because there aren't many left to pick up at this point. And we'll need them later on in this episode. Moreover, why should you use them on these dogs, given that they are half-wolf? After all, wolves are noble animals, they're not like dogs. In Yupik, the word for wolf is Kiglenek, and the Aleuts revere them as honorable cousins. I faintly remember hearing that somewhere.
Snake, what's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs. This place is mine. I'll take point again. Stay back, okay?
But the radar isn't working. And since we can't use the mine detector either...
Leave it to me. So, what do you think? Pretty good, huh?
How did you know where the mines were?
It sounds weird, but when Mantis dove into my mind, I was able to see where the mines were placed. Are you impressed?
No! And the reason I'm not impressed is because if you look at how the mines are placed, you can simply walk through here in a straight line.
Meryl!
What is it?
Meryl, get down! Meryl!
Snake, leave me and run.
Meryl!
I guess I am a rookie after all.
Don't worry, Meryl. It's me they want.
Even I know that. It's the oldest trick in the book. The sniper's using me for bait to lure you out.
Damn.
Shoot me, Snake.
No!
My gun. I can't reach it by myself.
Don't move!
I promised I wouldn't slow you down. I can still help. I want to help you.
Quiet down. Save your strength.
I was a fool. I wanted to be a soldier. But war is ugly. There's nothing glamorous about it. Snake, please save yourself. Go on living and don't give up on people. Don't forget me. Now get out of here.
I will skip most of the backtracking, as those areas are basically all the same, with the exception of the part where the tank fight was, but you can avoid the turrets by simply sticking to the left wall. But I will include getting the PSG1 itself. You don't have to worry about picking anything else up, because you will get back here after getting captured anyway. Okay, the fight against Sniper Wolf. If you've seen my Metal Gear Solid 2 walkthrough, you know that aiming is not exactly my strongest quality. But even so, I do have enough experience with this game to know how Wolf will act. However, it's not the exact same pattern every time, although she does move in a predictable way. But there is actually something you can do that gives you some extra time to aim, or better said, a way to pause the game without pressing start. If you open up the item menu when using the sniper rifle, you can essentially pause the game while still being able to see what's going on. In fact, you can even slow the game down a bit if necessary by opening and closing the item menu in quick succession. So when you're not sure whether Wolf will kneel down or lie down, for example, this trick can help you aim. However, her movement is still rather predictable. In fact, the worst part is the very start, namely because you need to lie down first, and Wolf tends to hit you before you even have the chance to find out exactly where she is. But I have a strategy to counter that as well. Not a perfect one, you can still immediately take a hit, but it is significantly less likely. So what I do is that I open up the door and then go through by equipping the sniper rifle. The motion of lying down with it counts as going through the door. So that means that you are immediately in position to fight her. And because you immediately want to open up the item menu to take the diazepam, you can also see from the red dot of her laser pointer exactly where she is. Then you need to realize that she has 3 general locations. All the way right, all the way left, or behind the metal bar in the middle. And she tends to alternate between sub-positions within those 3 locations. So kneeling down, lying down, etc. And she is very likely to move from left to right, but not from right to left. By which I mean that if she's all the way right, she will almost certainly move all the way left. Then behind the metal bar, and then to the right again. And as I said, if you are not sure whether she will kneel down or lie down, open the item menu to give yourself a moment to breathe. You still have to shoot very quickly though, but not in the sense of spamming the fire button, because she cannot be damaged in quick succession. So what I mean is that there's only a brief window of opportunity to fire before she fires.
It's hard to miss when you're this close. Toss your weapon over here. Slowly. You are a fool to come back here. Stupid man.
A lady sniper, huh?
Didn't you know that 2/3 of the world's greatest assassins are women? Do you want to die now? Or after your female friend? Which will it be?
I'll die after I kill you.
Is that right? Well, at least you've got spirit. I am Sniper Wolf, and I always kill what I aim at. Oh, you're my special prey. Got it? Oh, I've left my mark on you. I won't forget it. Until I kill you, you're all I think about.
Take him away.
Alright, I will skip the whole annoying torture scene. I did want to go for the canon ending, and surviving the torture on extreme difficulty basically means hammering your controller into the center of the earth. Well, actually I used the back of a screwdriver with my controller on my desk, and that works surprisingly well. Anyway, given that we want to keep things canon, let's not kill Johnny. After all, we survived the torture for Meryl's sake. We might as well make sure her future husband is okay. Well, somewhat okay at least. Anyway, as I've been repeating throughout this series, I should have saved some stun grenades for the tower section. So that's why I had to break the rule of killing guards, because I forgot to use the C4 on the other 2 walls in the second floor basement of the tank hangar, given that you can get stun grenades there. And there are also some in the second floor basement of the nuclear warhead storage facility. And while you are there, in one of the other rooms you can find body armor, which really comes in handy given how careful you have to be with your health on this difficulty. Now, looking back, I actually could have gotten stun grenades all the way back at the beginning of the left side of the helipad and then used the cargo box trick to quickly make it back to the second building. That way I could have prevented killing those guards, and it would also show that the cardboard box trick can in fact come in handy. Anyway, there are 3 more stun grenades on the ground floor of the tower, So we will just have to make do with 12 stun grenades. Now here's a trick I think everyone knows. If you preemptively place a couple of mines in front of the door, you don't have to worry about the first 2 guards. You can just immediately start your long run to the top. So the reason stun grenades are so great for this part is because the soldiers in front of you are off camera. But if you spam stun grenades, any one of them will constantly get knocked down. But it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So if you only have 12 stun grenades, you cannot just keep spamming them. Throw the first one after the 6th flight of stairs and throw a new one just right before the flash has completely cleared. Oh, and I just mentioned the body armor before. I initially forgot to actually wear it though. Jesus fuck, and I thought I was bad at aiming. You know how these genome soldiers are genetically modified superior soldiers? Yeah, I guess the same way stormtroopers are the backbone of the Star Wars Empire.
Damn!
Snake! I'm afraid I can't let you get past here.
Liquid.
You're not going any farther. Die!
It's a long way down. If only I had a rope. I should be able to use that rope I got.
What are you going to do? Take on a hind with your bare hands? Now you're mine!
If I stay here, I'm finished.
Okay, it's a bit hard to give precise tips on how to avoid damage in this part, but what I can at least say is that it's very unlikely that you will get hit by the hind as long as you keep moving. So as long as you don't hesitate, it's not that likely that you will get hit by machine gun fire. Also, you can move yourself all the way to the right, but remember that your rope is attached on the left side, not at the center. So that will make you swing rapidly to the left when you jump off the wall. Try to aim for the girders as they stick out a bit, and you can slowly move down by holding circle, so you can approach the steam as close as possible before you jump. After all, you don't have that much room as there are streams of steam all over the place, sometimes with very little space in between. Alright, there are 3 snipers on the other side of the runway, and an easy way to avoid damage is by lying down directly where you start. They won't be able to hit you from here. But there's also a far more amusing way to take them out, namely by bombarding them with remote-controlled missiles. You know what? I think we need more appropriate music. Oh, and something to keep in mind, when the Hind shows up, that does not count as a cutscene, so you have to immediately keep moving. Yes, that will be something we need to deal with in the next episode. But first we need to go down. And is it just me, or would it be easily and safely possible to just jump down? I mean, it's only 1 flight of stairs broken about halfway down. Nah, instead we're just going to fight a helicopter.
I want to ask you, do you think love can bloom, even on a battlefield?
Yeah, I do. I think at any time, any place, people can fall in love with each other. But if you love someone, you have to be able to protect them.
I think so too.
I have a favor to ask.
Uh-oh.
Don't worry, it'll be easy.
I told you before I don't want to hurt anyone.
I don't want you to either.
Okay?
The elevator is stopped down there. I want you to get it to move. You see?
That's weird.
It was working before, but now it isn't.
Maybe the panel's broken.
Can you fix it?
It was working before. If it's the mechanism, leave it to me.
I've got to go and swat a noisy fly.
So, the snakes finally come out of this hole. Are you ready now, my brother?
Why are you calling me brother? Who the hell are you?
I'm you. I'm your shadow.
What?
Ask the father that you killed. I'll send you to hell to meet him.
Alright, this is a great fight, but you will notice immediately that the hitbox is a bit wonky. On lower difficulties it has 2 hitboxes, but now you cannot hit the tail anymore. Well, sort of. Expect your shots not to count once in a while, so to say. Now, due to the lack of a radar and because of the top-down camera perspective, it can be hard to see where the Hind exactly is. However, the Stinger lock-on system works right through walls, so that is a great way to keep track of where he is. And of course, pressing up against the wall often works as well. Always make sure that the obstacle in the center of the roof is in between you and the Hind, and only come out when he is facing away from you. Well, it's not as extreme as in MGS2, but you can at least to an extent steer your missiles around obstructions. As long as the lock-on is active, you don't need to be aiming directly at the Hind. As soon as you hear Liquid say, "Nice shot," you know that he will shoot a missile at the roof. So now it's time to pick up the set of missiles in the bottom right corner of the roof. However, that is precisely where the missile will strike. So quickly get to the top of the screen and fire at him precisely when the missile hits the roof. The reason for this is that you cannot hit him before that, and if you wait until the targeting system becomes active again, the Hind is already firing its machine gun, so it would no longer be safe. The fight will continue in a similar fashion as before, but now he will start descending next to the tower, so that means that he's out of your reach. If we call the top of the screen north, then he has a tendency to come up very quickly when he is hovering near the north, northeast or west of the tower. And he tends to stay down much longer when he's at the south or southeast. Keep in mind that this is just a rule of thumb, there is RNG involved. It's still quite easy to lose track of the Hind, so the top-down camera can actually be to your benefit when you are close enough to the edge, since you can just literally see him hovering then. The second thing he does is that he tends to come a lot closer, hovering sometimes almost completely above you. So you need to stick much closer to the walls of the center obstacle. Now, because you can steer your missiles around obstructions a bit, you can steer your missiles right over the roof of the center obstacle. This is risky though, because if you aim slightly too low, the missile will explode right in your face. Oh, and by the way, it took me about half the fight to realize that I wasn't wearing the body armor. So make sure that you start the fight with the body armor already equipped. Okay, the ending of the fight is really weird, because he will fire a missile again, and the entire roof will explode. The only place where you are safe is directly behind the center obstacle, even though it gets completely destroyed by the missile. Well, anyway, if you just stand behind it, the fight should be over.
See you in hell. Liquid. That takes care of the cremation.
Alright, and that will be the end of this episode. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out my other videos, and stay tuned for the next episode.